We're going camping. It's my first shakedown for the Super Pacific X1. I want to see what all I need, what all I don't need. I'm not going to run the propane heater tonight. I have this heated blanket that I've been wanting to use, and I have my battery backup with me, so I want to test that out. So it's supposed to be not a good night. It's supposed to be down in the 20s. Apparent snow, some rain. I always go camping in the rain. And well, hopefully no one's out there. Yeah, let's go. Sometimes I wonder why I do this to myself. Like, I know I'm about to go into the rain. I had all the chances to, like, just cancel today, but you know what? I've mentioned to too many people that I'm actually going to go camping, so we're not going to go camping. We are going to... Oh, I can't even see the Olympics. Alrighty then, we're going to the Olympics. It's wild out there, but look at how beautiful that is. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, bad weather, but at least we're getting rain. I know in the summertime we're gonna be wishing for all this rain. Alright, we're out here, and let's hope that my spot isn't taken. I'm just calling it my spot just because that's the spot that I'm going to, so it's other people's spots, you know. Oh, but I think this is where we turn in. The mud seems, or the water seems to be a little bit up, so that's okay. We have the clearance and we have the fordability. Fjording? Yes. One problem with murky water like this, one, you don't know how deep it is. I know it's not that deep. But two, you don't know what's inside of there. There could be sticks, there could be jagged rocks, could be a lot of different things. And so you always have to be careful coming out through some stuff like this. Looks like there's been some trees fallen recently since the last time I've been out here. But we're still making good progress, good way through. But yeah, let's, like I said, let's hope that this spot's open. And it looks open. You guys might know this area from the last time that I was here when I first got the Super Pacific, but I just wanted a quick jaunt out here. We're gonna set up here at this fire. Looks like there were people who set up the fire before. Looks like they actually cleaned it, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and set it up. And the water's moving right now, nice. During the summertime, this river, creek, whatever you want to call it, typically has no water, and you're able to just walk out. Like the main river area is on the other side, which is nice. Up there you can see the snow. It's gonna drop down into, I think, the 20s tonight. But I've got my handy dandy Super Pacific sweatshirt. It is raining, so I'm honestly not sure if I'm even gonna do a fire tonight. It's not really that comfortable, like sitting out in the rain while the fire's going. So we're just gonna set up now while it's not downpouring, and then yeah, let's go ahead and test out this Super Pacific. Even looking back that way is such an amazing view. That mountain over there, so perfect. All right, let's set this up in camp mode, and then unpack the Super Pacific, get it set up, get my air mattress up, and then yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So the Rivian has this nice little feature in it called camping, right? We turn it on, right? We're going to manage our energy. We're going to level our truck. Yep. We're now leveling it. And so it just basically, as you're seeing right here, it just pretty much levels it. I don't know what more to say about that. But we do have our battery backup here tonight, and we are going to use that to power our... We're making lamb tonight, and I brought my girlfriend with me, my air fryer. I love that thing. And so we're going to just cook a little bit of lamb inside the truck tonight. Typically I like cooking over a campfire with a cast iron, or if I had my camp kitchen, I could be doing it outside, but I don't have a cover. I don't have an awning right now. I got one coming from Rivian. Should be here this week, but I don't have it now. So there's that. And then other times I would probably use my propane burner, but I didn't bring no propane tonight. I didn't want to do that tonight. I just wanted to have almost my bare minimum kind of setup and see how well it will do with the Super Pacific. I know how well it did with the iCamper, and I'm assuming 100% that this Super Pacific is going to do just as well, and if not better than the iCamper. Even though I love the iCamper, plus it's also like a third cheaper. No, more like a 6 times cheaper? 1/6 of the cost? It was like $2,000, where this is like $15,000. It better be better. We're going to turn this off, but we're going to keep the outlets on. Stay off. Wait, I need that back. Maybe I don't want that off. All right, let's do camp courtesy. We can set these up for right now. And I think those are our little spotlights that we have, just so I can start seeing around here. All right, so let's go. Truck's leveled, and let's actually turn off the lights. Lights are off. All right, let's go. I'm doing something very not Pacific Northwestern-y, putting on my hood. No hair makes for a cool head. Yeah. We're gonna kind of set this up into a kind of living room mode, but it looks like I need to bring down these panels right here because it's raining on my head right now. So for those of us who are kind of vertically challenged like myself, I had to sit on the bed in order to reach, because it was right at my fingers, so I'm assuming like 6 feet. But yeah, maybe a stool might be nice. But look at this view. Oh my goodness. Wow. Alright, so we basically got everything set up. It stopped raining. It is blue hour right now. So beautiful. And I got a Starlink box to to torch. Thanks, Elon. So while I'm waiting for the Starlink to hook up, and you're probably like, why do you have Starlink? Why do you do this? If you're going out camping, you need to just sit by a fire. I'm bored out here sometimes, you know what? But we're going to make some lamb in my handy dandy air fryer. I do have a nice little set power refrigerator that will be nice and keep my meat nice and cool. It does get pretty cold too, like 31 degrees right now. This is going to stay on all night. Life is going to be good. Have lamb in the morning. Yeah. Alright. Fire is made. Relaxing just a little bit till this burns out. Then gonna go hit the sack. Ate the lamb. Lamb was good. Sorry I didn't get a video of that, but man. Also, having a difficult time setting up the Starlink. It's okay though. Don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's starting to snow. Beautiful. We might wake up to a white, not Christmas, but just a white area covered in snow. A snow-covered area, that's what I'm trying to say. I just had to do a massive self-recovery on my own. I was moving campsites real quick to finish setting up for the night, and this was muddy. I knew that this was muddy to begin with, but like, let me show you guys what I dipped into. Holy. So I initially slipped into here. My max tracks are right there. But one of my tires decided to catch into here. And that's big old stump or a log that's down. So I don't, it's kind of hard to tell what this is right now, but Lord, I ask God for help. So this is where we got some drive cam footage from the vehicle, mainly the front and the back. I'm showing you how I was still able to move just a little bit, but I wasn't able to pop over that log. I'm backing up into some brush. That was some old brush that was just knocked down, some old logs and everything. Some of it was rotted out, and so it was kind of soft, so I was okay with backing up, but that's where I damaged my vehicle. I'll explain more and show you more in a second. I was walking around making sure I wasn't getting any tire punctures or anything like that. Here you can see where the how deep the mud is in different sections. It got up to like halfway up the wheel, so what, 12 inches or so, possibly. But I still had up to 40 inches of clearance, so I was fine. It was just more of getting the tire over that log. Now, I'm still doing the awesome power turnaround, trying to get in and out of here. Not fully stuck, so that wasn't my next step of recovery, was to get out and dig, but I did not need to dig, which is really nice. After the awesome power turnaround and all this other good stuff, this is finally where I get fully out and everything is fine. I make it back to the original camp spot, go through some mud puddles, which is basically just some watering, take the mud off the tire, and come back through, but hug the right-hand side so I don't slip back in. Now, this is probably the section to where I did damage my tail light. We'll go over the damage in just a few, and yeah, I'm just happy to be out. Self-recovery is definitely an important skill to have, especially whenever you go out camping by yourself and you have no cell reception. Chaos happened last night. I went to go try to move to a different camp spot because it started snowing. My hard drive wasn't set up or plugged in, and so I didn't capture it all, but luckily it captured the incidents on camera in the truck, so that's a positive. But yeah, we got damage. It's probably gonna get pricey, and it's minute damage, but it's how we have to fix it is going to be the problem. So let's take a look. So when I was backing up, I probably hit a tree or something. I'm honestly not even too sure what I hit, because I didn't see any like high enough trees to do that. So I'm assuming maybe a branch popped up and hit me. But look at that dent. So one thing that can be done here is PDF. In fact, I could possibly pop this out even by just heating it up and getting a suction on it and pulling it out. It looks much worse than what it is. It's not a hard edge, so PDF should easily be able to pop that out. Look at all the other stuff. I don't know if we have any damage underneath, but we will go check that in a second. Do I have anything over here? No, everything looks fine over here. But it took me about an hour to do self-recovery. So right now we are just home, got the dogs home. I need to redo all of this. I just didn't care. Yeah, this is why you see Max trucks on the outside and not the inside of trucks. Basically, after spending an hour trying to self-recover, it was chaos. I was wet, I was tired, I was muddy. I had a change of clothes, but I was all like, you know what, I don't want to set up the campsite again. I was 2 hours away from the house, so I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna go home. Got to bed, immediately took off all the clothes, wiped off as much mud as I could. I still have like mud underneath my fingertips and everything like that, but this is why it's never recommended to go out solo, because if I was actually stuck out there, I would have been out there all night. I had no cell reception. A couple people knew where I was, which is another reason why you need to tell people where you're going. But it could have been a bad situation, especially if I would have rolled it and I couldn't get out of the vehicle or something like that. I could have been in a lot of trouble. Luckily for me, I have many years of experience of doing self-recovery because I do like to go out solo. The one thing I do wish that the Rivian had is a winch. I could easily winch myself out of that situation. Basically, what ended up happening, it was an angle like this, and I was like, all right, this is fine. But then I guess the approach that I took, I was too far down here, and it caused my truck to slide down. And I'm all like, oh no. And so whenever I was down, my ass end kind of went into the ditch. Well, they put a stump or a fallen log there to try to help shore up that little road or whatnot. And well, it caught my tire and it went back. And so I couldn't move forward. I wasn't getting enough traction on the front tires. And so the the um the log was right behind this tire, or more of right in front of this tire, so it was all the way up here, and so I just couldn't get traction over it because the front was slipping also, but most of the weight was in the back. I had max tracks, tried to use the max tracks. The max tracks didn't work as well as I thought it would, but in this video that you'll see right here, I knew I had enough room to move back and forth, so I was able to rock it just a little, which is how I got the damage. But pretty much using this right here as like a pinion or whatever you want to call it, I allowed the other three tires to keep turning this way, and so I backed up, moved forward, backed up, moved forward, backed up, moved forward, and went out the way that I came in. And so when that happens, I was able to retrace my steps. And so when I took that angle like this again, I hugged over here, so then that way, you know, I was going to get some scratches on the side, but that's why I got PPF. And well, it doesn't look like there's much scratches over here. There might be. In fact, I think, nope, that's just a fallen cherry leaf. I think we're good over here. But I mean, just doing truck things in this thing. I mean, I probably could do this in a beater and I would be much happier, but just being prepared when you're going out, especially solo, is imperative. Max tracks, to say the minimum. I have a shovel, I have an axe, I have things like, if it came down to it, I was going to cut down, well, not really cut down, just gather some branches that were around there and almost like create a road. I would have dug out just a little bit because I do have a shovel. And even putting some gravel underneath to try to get it to get me some more traction. I will say the truck handled nicely. It handled things very well, the way that I kind of wish I would have had more traction. But at the same time, I threw it in rock crawl to try to get myself to lower the torque just a little bit so that I could just rotate slowly. They just knew that I have to give puppy tax. Mercedes is quite perturbed at the neighbors driving. Same with Maple. But that just comes from knowledge and know-how on how to do that. I mean, it's also my fault for getting into that situation. I didn't expect for it to be a log there to catch my tire the way that it did. So it's partially my fault, partially... I've traveled that little road so many times. And I guess other people probably have got caught in that situation. And so it's deteriorated the road just a little bit. I know it was a good 12 inches of mud that I was in, but luckily it was still wet, and it wasn't like extremely cakey mud, so I was still able to move it out from my tires and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was a camping trip gone wrong. The Super Pacific worked perfectly. I love this thing. Once I closed up the windows, no wind was coming in, no rain was coming in. It was nice and comfortable. My heated blanket worked well. I probably should have brought propane so that I can run the propane heater, because after a while my body was warm, but at the same time I could start feeling it like on my face and everything like that. Like the core temperature inside the truck was probably down into the 30s. It wasn't really windy at all, but my main reason for moving the camp spot is because it started snowing and I wanted to get on top of a hill to where I knew I was going to get more snow and wake up to something beautiful. I had a beautiful camp spot, but decisions were made. That being said, I did use, the whole night was pretty awesome. Got my Starlink up and running, so I think I posted a picture to Twitter, which was kind of cool. Um, what else is there? Ate some good food, had a nice fire. Got to just relax and just get away from it all, and then chaos, and then chaos. So we're going to be doing a lot more adventures this year. Hopefully, I'm not going to be stuck like I was last night. And it's just a reminder that even in this most familiar places, things can happen, and if you're not prepared, things could be a lot worse. Uh, but get some knowledge, understand, watch some YouTube videos, and don't just watch the videos. Go out and actually practice this stuff, like how to properly use your Max Tracks traction boards, how to get yourself out of certain situations where you're stuck, and that way you don't have to. You could do it on your own, but if you're like really stuck, actually having some friends who can actually come help you, but you need to know how to actually get a hold of those friends. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I am happy. If you're a believer, if you're not, I was like, hey, God, I need your help right now. Please help me get out. And within 5 to 10 minutes, I was out. And so I think he, overall gave me enough knowledge and enough calmness to assess the situation and push through the situation. And so I was all like, well, I guess that's a sign that you're there watching over me. My grandma might be too. So you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go. At least now I got a new video that I can give you guys about PDF, not PDF. Paintless PDR, paintless dent removal. So we're gonna see if we can do it for the tailgate to be able to pop it out. Because there's a lot of articles saying, oh, there's a dent now, it's totaled. It's not totaled. I mean, not where this dent is, it's only the tailgate, so we'll be fine. But to see what PDR can do, the paint protection film did help not mess up anything as much, so not much scratches or anything. Is that another dent? I can't tell if that's a dent too. Actually, yep, that's a dent. Hold up here. So it is dented right here. PDR should be able to come through here and pop it out like that. But yeah, the one issue that I'm going to be having is this right here, because first off, that's pretty thick. Second, I keep getting a fault saying that this isn't working. And so my only issue is, in order to get back here, to probably undo the screws, I think we have to take off the camper bed, and I'm probably going to have to go down to Super Pacific, because if we take off the bed, there's a gasket that's in between it. We might have to replace the gasket, and it's a whole situation to do everything. I'm going to get some tape on there as soon as I can, just to try to keep the condensation water from getting in there too much and damaging it way too much. But yeah, so let's go ahead and clear this out, and I will catch you guys on the next one.